Hello, friends. It's your boy Jeff here, and I'm standing up this time. I'm kind of doing this video. Well, it's not really a whack-a-mole style, but it's just something different. You know, people seem to like it when I change the angle in my videos, and of course, I have the tripod balanced on a chair here, slightly precariously, so hopefully it won't fall over. But this video is for my good buddy Bill at the Vinylverse, who I just saw his contest video that he put up last night. He crossed the 700 subscriber mark as well, which is awesome, and is celebrating his second anniversary in the VC, which is also awesome. And he's running a contest, so I don't know if I'll be the very first entry, but I know I'll be one of the first entries. The questions are pretty easy, and the bonus question, I think I've got it. I felt like Arnold Horshack in Welcome Back, Kotter. You know, when I saw the we started talking about the bonus question, I'm like, oh, I know this. Yeah. So I know I said I was in low content mode yesterday, but throat's feeling a bit better. I got myself coffeeed up here, so we're gonna go ahead and do this. All right. The main part of the contest consists of 4 questions. Got them written down right here, and we're just gonna start. First question: how did you discover the VC, and when did you begin making videos? I'll be hitting my 3rd anniversary in the VC like at the end of August. I think like August 25th. I think I'd have to go back to I just went back to my very first video recently for some reason. And I think the date on that was August 25th. So that would be my 3rd anniversary. But anyway, that summer, I had been following Naz Nomad. Those of you, just about, I think, most longtime VCers will know who that is, David Michael. I came across his channel. I don't know if it was just through a random search on vinyl. I don't know I can't remember what I was looking for on YouTube, but it had to be obviously something to do with records. And I saw the thumbnail for one of his videos, and he was holding up an album. Again, I can't remember which one it was, but it was one that I liked. So I'm like, ooh, I want to see what this guy is all about. So I started watching his videos, and it was pretty interesting. You know, he was showing a lot of stuff that I liked. And of course, he was, even back then, he was still finding insanely awesome Grail level records at his Goodwill. And I just kind of became fascinated by it, and he started mentioning this thing called the VC. And I'm like, what the hell is VC? You know, the vinyl community? What? Is this like do you need a member card? What do I got? Do I have to apply? What? No. All you have to do is gather up your courage, get yourself in front of a phone or computer or other recording device, and just talk and make videos about records. And of course, you can see, kind of, sort of, I know it's kind of far back, but if I make the camera any closer, you won't be able to see anything but me. And of course, I'm pretty big as it is. But yeah, I watched his stuff for a little while, and I think I started branching off into other people too before I started making videos of my own. I'm pretty sure I started watching Andy Borders. I came across him. Billy Hurst, I started watching his stuff too because he was around. I want to say Mr. Hall of Fame too. I know he was around back then. And it just started becoming kind of like a habit, you know? And I would see records that they had. I would kind of learn about stuff I didn't know about, music-wise, and I would start picking stuff up. And then one day, I just said to myself, I can do this too. So I took my phone and I balanced it on a stack of books on my coffee table, which is no longer in this room, and sat down in front of it and started fumbling my way through my very first video, which I should have pulled it. I should have pulled the first album I showed. Well, I did that recently, didn't I? Yeah, never mind. Okay, forgive my babbling. But anyway, from there, it didn't really go anywhere for like the first month or two. And then again, and I was just doing it just to please myself. I wasn't thinking that anyone was watching. I figured I was just basically talking to myself through these videos, you know, beyond my, you know, a few family members maybe. You know, I had like maybe 3 subscribers, I think, in the very beginning. And then I'll never forget this. And Andy Borders, mentioning him again. I don't know. Is he still in the VC? I don't think he makes videos anymore, which sucks because I miss you, Andy. If you see this, come back. Make videos again. But anyway, he caught one of my videos and gave me a shout out in one of his. And I swear, overnight, my sub count went from like 3 to like 33 or 43, just like that. And I had all these people commenting all of a sudden on my video, welcoming me, you know, saying, keep up the good work, you're doing great. Very positive, very supportive. And I was like, wow, you know, people are actually watching me. It doesn't make sense. It still kind of doesn't make sense. But, and from there, things just kind of took off. I started interacting with more people, checking out more channels. You know, everything in the VC is interconnected. You know, you find one person and you see, well, who do they like? And then you find another person that goes from there, and it goes around and around and around and around. And even to this day, there's like a new wave of subscribers that have come through, which I will shout out when I get to that question. But yeah, before you knew it, I had 100 subscribers, ran my first contest, that blew up, and I like doubled my sub count and started talking to people, meeting. Well, I met a few people in person, which is cool. Not as many as I would like. There's a ton of you out there that I would love to meet in person. But it just kind of became a part of life in a way. And I just kept buying music, you know, getting records, listening to them, playing them, talking about them, showing them. And me and myself, I've branched off slightly, you know, doing the 78 Cavalcade thing, doing the Stephen King thing, which, not to sidetrack this entry, but I did finish reading Pet Sematary. I'll have to talk. Brad, we'll have to talk because I know you read it recently too. I had not read that book since it was new in like 35 years, and I read it again, and it was probably the most disturbing Stephen King book I think I've read ever. And I was going to do a video on it as part of my Stephen King reading project, but I kind of didn't. I still might go back to it, but it just didn't. I didn't really feel like talking about it. Anyway, the majority of things that I talk about here is music related and record related. So, and here it is 2.5 years later, and there's no sign of it slowing down. So, and I know you are going through the same thing, Bill. I remember your channel. I was one of your first subscribers, and your channel has grown and grown and grown. And it thrills me to no end because you're a great guy, and I love watching your stuff. Okay, I think that covers the first question. Hold on. I need some coffee here. Mouth is getting a little dry. Cheers. All right. Next question. Show albums you bought after seeing it in a VC video. Let's see. Well, I'll tell you one thing. I just bought this yesterday, and I was going to show it, but it turns out that this was the wrong album. I'd gotten a Barnes & Noble gift card. Me and my wife went to one of our friends over the weekend because her boyfriend, his birthday was on leap year, so that kind of makes his birthday a little special. Give him all his birthday stuff, and he hand me this card, and I'm like, what's this? And it was like a super belated birthday gift. I'm like, what are you doing? It's your birthday. You don't have to give gifts to me. Like, no, we missed your birthday, da 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 da. So it was a gift card from Barnes & Noble. So I went there yesterday, and I was looking to see what I could buy. And I remember Blues Guy Vinyl, Chris, who a lot of people have been noticing around the VC, and rightfully so, because he makes great videos. He's in the middle of doing a top 100 list, and he mentioned Ben Harper and Charlie Musselwhite, but it wasn't this record, and I'd forgotten which one it was. It was, the one he showed was, I think it came out after this one, called No Something in This Land, No Pride in This Land, or something like that. I can't remember the title right now. But anyway, I'm there in Barnes & Noble looking at the records, and I see this, and I'm like, ooh. And it flashed on him talking about these guys in his video. So I bought this sight unseen. I don't know a single song off this record. But I'm like, my weird thought process is, oh man, Chris likes these guys. It's got to be good because I liked the clip that he played from the album. And I thought this was the album, but it wasn't. But that's okay because I like Ben Harper and Charlie Musselwhite anyway. So just on the basis of seeing somebody else show a different album from the same people still caused me to buy this record. So that's the power of the VC for you. But other than that, I mean, there are so many records that I picked up over the years because of the VC. And if I can find it, here's another good example. Zephyr, first Zephyr album. Saw this on, this was a Lost Vinyl Classic for Andrew over at Tales from the Crate. He talked this album up. And he talked it up so well that I wanted to get it. So I ended up getting it. There's so many other records that, I mean, I could just be pulling them whack-a-mole style left and right and just fill up this whole this phone storage with albums that I bought because of that. But you get the idea. I've learned about so many artists that I kind of knew casually and got into them a lot more. In fact, I'm more of a Genesis fan now because of you, Bill. Yep. I knew, of course, I know the trio era because that was their more famous period of music. But the stuff that came before, like with Peter Gabriel, I knew virtually nothing about. So after watching your videos and you talking up the early Genesis, I ended up going back and I think I have them all. I have them all except for one. I think I need Trespass. I think Trespass is the one I'm missing. I want to say. I have the one with the fox head and the red dress. Is that Nursery Crime? See? Preparation. But, yeah, I'm way more of a Genesis fan now than I ever was before seeing your stuff in the VC. And I know you're the Genesis king. Besides that, even Peter Gabriel, like I picked up his first 4 solo albums, I think, because of seeing you talk about him in his videos. So, in your videos. So the list goes on and on. It's crazy. Yeah. That's one of the things I love the most about the VC is you can dive as deep, almost as deep as you want to, into any artist and genre, and you'll find somebody out there talking about it or them. For sure. So I think that covers the second question. All right. Third question. Show a favorite album or a favorite album in your collection. All right. We're going to do, well, let's try, show you another one that I found. This was one that also applies to the last question. I discovered it through the VC, even though I was familiar with this artist. It was kind of a deeper dive into his stuff, and I played this album relentlessly when I got it. Buddy Guy, Stone Crazy. I know I showed this album several times, like a year or two ago, when I first got it, because I couldn't stop playing it. And I'm sure if I put this on right now and listen to it again, I'd probably get right back into it. I gave this album to Brad, I think. He loved it too. And did I give this to anybody else? I can't remember. But yeah, I mean, there's so many that I could pick, and that's just in the blues section. Trying to pick a favorite album is pretty tough, but I'm gonna go with this just through the sheer amount of spins it got when I first bought it, and even after. This is prime Buddy Guy. This came out this is a reissue, but this came out, I think, in like 1981. And Buddy Guy in 1981 was nowhere near the famous blues godfather that he is now. And he kind of just lets it all hang out on this album. So, sorry for the glare here. Here's the back cover. I really need to dive further into Buddy Guy. I want to get the Buddy and Junior albums that they released, which I also saw on Chris Blues Vinyl Guy's videos. He did a whole video on just Buddy Guy and Junior Wells, but I'm gonna go with this just for, again, the sheer amount of playtime it got. Jeez. Okay. Question number 4, channel shoutouts. I recently completed a contest of my own, and a bunch of new people that I've never seen before posted entries, which in turn led me to check out their channels. So, and it really, I'm calling you guys the new wave because it seems like you all just kind of came out of nowhere at like the same time, roughly, and are making a name for yourselves in the VC, which is awesome. So just off the top of my head, I didn't even write any down. Logan Archer Mounts, I love your channel. You put a entry into my contest. I like your stuff a lot. Chris, Musically Obsessed with Chris Profi. I want to get in your contest too. I think I still have time. Maybe I'll do that today. I don't know if I have time though today, but I think I still have time to get in yours. I think the deadline is not hit yet, but you're another one that entered my contest, and I subscribed to your channel in return, and I'm really enjoying your stuff too. I like, Brad mentioned your room tour video in one of his recent ones, and I agree. I like that one a lot, among the other stuff that you're showing too. Rachel, the VC music, the music VC ma'am, I like your stuff too. You entered my contest as well, and I had no idea who you were, and I'm like, who is this person entering my contest? So went to your channel, subscribed, and I'm like, oh wow, this is really cool. So there you go. I'm sure there's probably other people that I'm forgetting. Oh, Hitch a Ride. I think we've been, I think he's commented on my videos in the past. I know he entered my contest too. And I subscribe to you too. So, Bernard Jean, yes. I think we're friends on Facebook too, aren't we? I think so. Love your stuff too. Love your accent. Just off the top of my head, those are the people that I'm shouting out. Okay, that covers the main portion of the contest. Now we're getting to the bonus part. And of course, this has to deal with Bill's favorite band, Genesis. What is his favorite album from the Phil, Mike, and Tony trio era of Genesis? And what is his favorite song from that album? Well, I got it. I just showed this one recently. I am going with self-titled Genesis from 1983 as your favorite album, and I'm going with Mama as your favorite song. Right? Right. I think that, well, the first side, like I've showed this one recently, like I think 1 or 2 spin zones back, I showed this one recently, and I maintain that side 1 of this album could stand tall in the realm of perfect album sides. And the leadoff track on side 1 is Mama, which is just a monster performance from Phil Collins, both as a drummer and as a vocalist. So as soon as I saw this question, I was at work. It's like 4 a.m, and I'm like, wait a minute, I know the answer. Ooh, I gotta make this video right now. So I think I'm getting this in before anyone else. I hope I am, because I don't want any cheaters coming after me and scamming off me, you know. So I'm going with self-titled and Mama as my answers to the bonus question. So there you go. There's my entry into your contest, Bill. Just want to say I really enjoyed getting to know you over these past 2 years that you've been on the VC. Loved watching your channel grow. I enjoy your comments on my videos. I try to comment as much as I can in yours. And we even have, he and I and a couple other VC members have a group chat going in Facebook, which is really nice. And, you know, we talk about things besides music. I mean, music is a big topic of conversation among us, but, you know, as we've gotten to know each other better and spent more time talking, it's kind of branched out and gotten a little more personal. You know, especially when Cora was going through her surgeries. You know, Bill and I'll just say, you know, Brad and Tim, those guys just were unbelievable in like checking in with me like on a daily basis. So that's incredible kindness that I'll never forget. And yeah, here's to, you know, 2 more years in the VC and beyond. I hope we all are able to stay together in this group. And yeah, someday, man, I want to meet you guys. There's so many people I want to meet in the VC. You know, I would love to meet Mazzy and hang out in Seattle with Mazzy and like drink fancy coffee and listen to jazz records, and you know, and I'd love to. There's so many people I want to meet. Steve Carlson, come back to Chicago, dude. We got to hang out. We'll go to dinner, and I'll even eat a funky dinner if you want that. That's great, or I'll cook for you. But chief among people I would love to meet would be you, Bill, and I just think it would be awesome to actually hang out in person, spin records, you know, in person. You could have anything in my collection that you wanted to spin. And I don't have as much prog and I don't have as much jazz as you do, but I'm doing good. I'm getting there. You know, I do okay in those genres. But yeah, very glad to know you. Very glad to have your friendship. And like I said, here's to many more years ahead of the same. So congratulations on your milestones and your anniversary. And hope this contest just blows up for you and pushes you towards 1,000. So, and I just crossed the 25-minute mark. All right, I'm going to shut up now. This is Jeff. Peace. And if you haven't checked out the Vinylverse, by all means, stop what you're doing right now and go to his channel and subscribe. Yeah, you. I'm talking to you. All right, guys. Take care.